Back again with another review in a few, and today it's about Peacemaker, starring John Cena. Show is from HBO, came out in late 2021 and ended in 22. I mean, it was very interesting to say the least. I came to this show with very low expectations. I watched Suicide Squad, the one that came out in 2021, and I was introduced then to the Peacemaker character. That was the first time I've ever heard of him. And John Cena played an incredible role. And just so you know, I used to hate, and I mean absolutely hate, John Cena as a kid. I used to like wrestling, and John Cena used to be the man just beating everybody up and burying wrestlers I wanted to see at the top. So I just hated him. And he couldn't wrestle. He will tell you that. He can't wrestle for shit, but he knows how to entertain. Back then, I didn't see the value in that, so I hated the man as much as humanly possible. Well, not that much, but you know what I mean. I just hated the guy. And so, when I first heard that he's a peacemaker, I didn't care about the character, but once I was introduced to it in the movie, it became interesting. It was really one of the very few characters I cared about from that movie. So when I heard the movie was coming out, I was like, okay, I'm down to see what it's about. When I heard, sorry, that the show was coming out, I was interested in that, but I wasn't really like excited. I had low expectation. I was just gonna check out one episode to see what it's about. And that's exactly what I did. They dropped 3 episodes in one night. I said, okay, let me check out the first one. I did. I was like, okay, hold up. We got something here. Hold up. Hold up. Let me just check out the second one. I did that. I was like, okay, third one, I'm in. And I was expecting an episode every other week. I mean, every week I was there. They had me. And that's something that not a lot of shows can do. I lose interest very quickly, but this show is different. I'm an avid. I love comic book characters. I love superhero shows. So this one, what made it interesting for me was it was different. It's in the realm. I would not say it's like, but it's in the realm of the Doom Patrols and stuff like that, and the boys and that Deadpool that era that area, sorry, of comic books. But this one is a lot sillier and a lot more entertaining than Doom Patrol, to say, especially the last season. I didn't really care for that one. I was just waiting for it to end, to be honest. But we'll get to that on another day. But with Peacemaker, it really, that's why it's good to come to any really show or movie with low expectations, because you can get disappointed. It's only up from there. So I was engaged to it uh, throughout its runtime. I wanted to watch everything the second it dropped. So the last episode, I want to talk a lot about. I want to talk more about the last episode. It's when things are revealed and loose ends are tightened and shit like that. It was interesting. I would say the last episode was interesting. It was fun, especially the cameo. The cameo was incredible. I loved it. I loved the way they handled it. I mean, to bring the Justice League at the end like that and to tease maybe not even showing any one of them to then showing Aquaman and the Flash and have a really funny interaction. One of my favorites, my highlights from the show, I must say. I mean, the show is dope, and the way it dealt with its silliness, combining it with the delving deep into a character's soul, like a character like Peacemaker. The first time you're introduced to it, you're like, this is just a goddamn criminal, just a killer under the guise of freedom. He just kills people, and if it's justified by freedom, he'll do it, no matter what, who. But throughout the show, and this was Peacemaker in the movie, he was just a murderer. But throughout the show, you see his growth from a killer to a human being with emotions, which is something very interesting to see, and to see his back history, his backstory, his history with his brother, how he accidentally killed him. His goddamn racist ass dad forcing him to fight him and then blaming him. It's so dumb. But anyways, as a kid, you can't really argue with that. He got captured in that era. You see his growth. It's amazing. You see not only him, not only John Cena growing from like I said, a killer to a sympathetic character that actually thinks for himself and questions what makes him, uh, let's say, able, or what gives him the right to impose his views on freedom on people, to kill someone or even something. Because at the end, he doesn't even kill the butterfly, which is very like after when I just finished the show, I was like, why didn't he just kill the goddamn butterfly at the end? Why not just kill it? But you see that he's growing as a character. That's a sign of his growth. He doesn't just kill to kill. He knew he conquered the invasion, so to say, with butterflies, and he kind of built a relationship with that particular butterfly because he had it for a couple of days. I would say so. You see his growth as a character, even though he disagrees with the aliens' views regarding freedom. He maintains, or he doesn't just rush to kill. So that's interesting to see. A very interesting show. I did not expect it to go this far. Uh, like the balance between silliness and deep drama, character development. Uh, it was really good and interesting and entertaining. If I were to describe the show, I'd say it's a weird, dope show. I think that's the best way to describe it. And if I were to rate it, I would give it a 8.5. The only reason for reducing a point and a half there is because for me, just don't shove shit down my throat. That's why I hated John Cena. As I said in the beginning, I hated the guy because he was shoved down my throat. And what I hate the most recently about movies, TV shows, whatever, is the constant woke agenda shoving down people's throat. I hate it. There's no need for it. People can think for themselves. Okay, I absolutely dread. I love the Avengers. I love DC and Marvel. I just entertain me. I don't give a fuck who's creating what. Just entertain me. I'm there with you to the end. Just entertain me, boy. But goddamn, the end game with you know what I'm talking about when I say woke agenda end game. You think about that stupid scene where in the middle of a battle. I mean, motherfuckers losing their life, and somehow the female characters just happen to be at the same spot, just fighting, helping it. Why was that necessary? I don't even know why. Just have them be badasses, like the show. We have that what's Cold Heart, whatever the fuck her name is. She's a fucking badass. You see Adebayo growing as a badass. Just have them be what you want them to be, but don't say, "Hey, look, we're badasses," even though we're women. Bro, you don't need to do that shit. It's stupid. Why do you all keep doing that, bruh? Why? Why do you shove that shit down our throat? Like I said, what I loved about this show is that it didn't have a lot of agenda shoving activity throughout the show. But at the end, you see it happening just a little bit. And I hate it just a little bit. That's why when Adebayo was talking with Peacemaker and saying you have this pseudo view about freedom, like, bro, just relax. You don't need to do all that. Like I said, it's not that obvious as you see in other shows, which is something I very appreciate. But I would just love it if it's not there. This is entertainment, like I said. And if you want to teach people, because this is the word that people like to use nowadays, just like do it in an artistic way, in a way wherein you don't tell me, hey, believe this, period. No, have it in a clever way. That's your job. Don't shove it down my throat. Find a way to make it entertaining, interesting, and clever, critical. Something like that, bro. Don't make it obvious. Hey, and that's it for today, boy.